All right, I see my big giant head. Hello, everybody. Against all odds, I have managed to fire up Adventures After Dark. Hi, everybody. I'm your host. I'm Big Ed Mustafa. Ponton Finberry checking in. Hello, Ponton. I actually tweeted out that there would be no Lotro stream tonight, no Adventures After Dark. But I managed to keep the computer together. I managed to keep the Wi-Fi up and running. And mic low? Yeah, let me check the sound levels. That's happened a couple times. La 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 la. Yeah, drop back down into the 20s. La 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 la. Now I should sound magnificent as always. And do we have game sound? We do have game sound. Okay, there we go. Mucho better, he says. And Ed is extremely quiet, can barely hear you. There we go. So, as I was saying, I have managed to keep the computer together. I have managed to keep the Wi-Fi up and running. Those are basically the only things left in my current residence, other than a few major pieces of furniture. As you can see, my shelf of stuff behind me is cleaned out. The bookshelf is waiting to be moved. It's pretty sparse around here. But I have a Coke Zero. And I've got Lotro. So let's do some adventuring. I always look forward to being on Lotro Stream on Fridays. Tonight's no exception, and I was glad I was able to put it together. Was not sure what the status would be. I'd been negotiating with movers to come over and get the furniture moved. And I was going to have them do it today. And I had some other stuff to take care of, not the least of which was pawning my fish tank off on one of my coworkers, who is now the proud owner of my 40-gallon aquarium and most of the guppies. My nephew took some of the guppies home, put them in his tank, and my friend Victor said that he got the tank home safe and sound and was refilling it as I texted him. I was like, did you get the aquarium home safe, or are you getting your wife's car detailed? So he said, no, the aquarium's fine. So that's good news. Ponton is eating chocolate and vanilla ice cream. That sounds terrific. When you move your PC, maybe take the opportunity to reinstall your cam on Windows. I've tried actually removing it and reinstalling it. I'll probably have to delete and reinstall OBS and see if that gets the camera back up. And it won't be that big of a deal. But it's just one of those things. Everything else going on, I just haven't taken the time to do it. One of the other things that has happened, I'd been working on Jasco and got his... Where's the goat? There's the goat. His prized Thorin's Hall goat, which he does have the boar of the Everslade. So technically he was good to go for Moria anyway. It's a damn handsome goat. So we are kindred with Thorin's Hall. Singer says, wow, I can't believe they were able to get a guy like that looks just like Ed to fill in for tonight. Any intensive care unit probably has a burn victim or a car accident victim who will bear at least a passing resemblance to me. I have a face for radio. That's okay. Hi, Zinger. Just saying I didn't think I would be able to pull off streaming tonight, but other than starting about a half an hour late, I managed to get everything lined up, so we're okay. Adoranel is checking in. Hello, Adoranel. And welcome. An imposter is streaming? The one advantage I've always had, Ponton, is nobody else would ever claim to be Big Ed Mustafa. That is a shame that nobody else wants to bear. Oh, Gauntlet Legends. I think I have Gauntlet Legends. In fact, I think Daddy Hutch gifted it to me. I know I've got a Gauntlet game. Path of Exile is just Gauntlet on steroids. Let's see what the hobbits have for me. Tome of Extraordinary Experience. That is fantastic. And I think I was doing task item turn-ins for Rivendell, because I think I'm kindred with both the Wardens and now Thorin's Hall. Oh, and the Matham Society. As any good, right, proper hobbit should be. So I still need to work on the Eglain. The Rangers of Estelden. Apparently, Jasko did not do much work out in the North Downs. Maybe I can swing back around and clear that up before I move on. We'll see. Yeah, I felt old school today. Played my N64 and hooked it up to my PC. Very cool. Yeah, I found some more funny stuff packing up too. I had an Isabus serial port card sitting in the box on the shelf behind me. I had an Isabus parallel port card. Found some really old computer parts that I didn't need to have saved. And then it was the funniest thing. I had talked about Mrs. Mustafa's obsession with the Girls Next Door TV show about Hugh Hefner and his 3 girlfriends living in the Playboy Mansion. Apparently there was a Girls Next Door calendar, I think for 2020, that was just sitting back up there on the shelf. It was just cheesecake photos, nothing too racy. It would have been Lotro stream appropriate to show off, but since I didn't think I'd be able to stream tonight, I went ahead and threw it away. Also, another funny relic that turned up on the shelf behind me was a DVD copy of Girls Gone Wild, which they used to sell on late night infomercials. It was just basically a DVD of drunk girls at bars flashing the camera. And but they used to advertise it ad nauseum, and I think the company that marketed that eventually ended up getting sued out of existence, probably. And the funny story about it was nothing I would have ordered for myself, of course, being the enlightened and feminist ally that I am. Of all people, my mother received a copy of it in the mail. I think somebody ordered it and it got shipped to her address by mistake. And she was like, Girls Gone Wild? Ed'll probably like this. I'll give it to my son. And I was literally given a copy of Girls Gone Wild by my mother. So, yeah, my mom was pretty hip. But that's okay. That went out in the trash today, too. Amusingly, even my 21-year-old nephew didn't want that, so good on him. Margon says, this story seems suspect. Yeah, looking good, big fella. Thank you, Margon. I can hear the echoes of a freshly moved room. Yeah, things should sound quite a bit more alive here, especially with there's literally nothing around me. The bookshelf's empty. Even my Fallout 4 poster, which is normally like right over here against the wall, it's over in the new apartment. And the worst part about it is there was a chance I wouldn't have had time. If we'd torn the computer down, I wouldn't have made the stream tonight. And we crammed so much stuff into the new spare bedroom that I'm going to set up my streaming stuff in that it's like I don't know how to reposition the desk. So we kind of have to leave things the way they are so we can get the furniture moved in tomorrow. And then I can start putting stuff out where it actually belongs, and I'll be able to get my desk organized and have everything up and running for my regular Saturday night stream, which is a good thing. But until then, I will sit here in the empty shell of my former home. Worn and scratched copy, I'm sure. I actually did watch it once just to see it. It's like, yeah, this isn't even that interesting. Not that I don't enjoy watching young drunk girls go, woohoo! I mean, you know, but after a minute or two of that, it's pretty much all the same thing. Well, let's see if I can actually turn anything into the Rangers of Estelden. Maybe I can get some work done there. It's going to be the level 21 to 30 board, I think. Oh, that's interesting. There's Elves of Rivendell rep down there, too. The Eglain. Unlocked Tier 5 Omaha earlier this evening. Very cool antler. Antler's working to groove his way into our World of Warships nights on Sundays. Be glad to have him. We also added it to the random game selection for Wednesday nights. And for those of you who didn't notice on Discord, I'd posted in the Games People Play channel. I have bought the quintuple pack of Jackbox Games party packs. So I have about 25 or 30 different trivia games that we might be playing on Wednesday night, in addition to Lotro, Path of Exile, Among Us, or some other random game as people request. Good opportunity for Mrs. M to get her streaming setup going. She could do a kimchi and pho review. She likes everything. I don't know it'd be much of a review. Hey, Mrs. Mustafa, how is the kimchi? Good. And how is the pho? Gone. Watching you play Path of Exile just feels wholesome. So let's see if I've got anything for the Eglain. Coarse skin, sharp claws. I got 20 of those. Are sharp claws on the list for the Eglain? No. Broken short bows. That's a winner. Thought you had a carry-all. This is my Crick Hollow account on my new free-to-play account that I created last year, and I think either Tenuliel or Warsteinic have the carry-alls. But I think I do actually have a lot of extra Eglain rep stashed away. Heavy sword sheaths. But I suspect that Jasko may have plenty of task items tucked away just on his own. Jellied goo. Soft skin. No jellied goo, no soft skin. Interesting. Well, that's okay. We can do some stuff for the Rangers of Estelden, too. Although it's interesting, because Jellied Goo shows up. Oh, it's for Evendom. Okay, I'm already kindred with them. That's why it's not. Wasn't even looking for Evendom. Broken longswords, extremely sharp claws, fine fur. Alright, let's turn those in. Oh, task at hand pops. Well, you've got to grab that when you can. Pot and Finberry says, I almost was going to go burglar on Gladden, but minstrel instead. Well, either would have been welcome. Between this and Gladden, you're shaping up to be a burglar main. I love playing burglar. I always had a good time on Brandywine with the 40 Thieves kinship. Zinger and I used to play on Friday nights with Gravity 42. And we got burglars all the way up to, I think, almost level 120. It was a lot of fun. If you have not played a burglar in Lotro, you are missing the boat. I've heard some crazy talk that Hunter class is best class, but don't believe the hype. It's pretty tough to beat Champion and Burglar for just plain old fun. Hunters are certainly powerful and they're convenient and easy to play, don't get me wrong, they have their advantages. But one of the things that makes Lotro so fun is all of the character classes are fun to play. Guardians used to be a little bit draggy, but I found them to be much easier to get along with at low levels. Captain, I don't know that I've ever embraced wholeheartedly, but I've got some captains up to mid-level. I think I've got at least one captain on Gladden that's in the mid-50s. Definitely fairly deep into Moria. And yeah, it's fun. It's got its benefits. The captains can do some cool stuff. That's part of my philosophy as a free-to-play player, is play all the classes. How do I not have any large filth socked away? I have a level 118 and level 85 Guardian on Crick Hollow. I like the class. Burglar is great. Played one ever since I joined Lotro. First character ever. Very cool. I usually don't recommend Burglar for a first character class, but they do play solo very well. I've been chiding Bacchus lately because whenever we're playing together, he seems to like to shoot stuff while I'm trying to sneak up on it. Communication is the key. Sharp claws are good for North Downs. Why is that not showing up? Maybe it is down there and I'm just not paying attention. That would be kind of like me. North Downs, sharp claws. Not on the list. Interesting. Yeah, those are level 24. They should be here. Up there. No, Elves of Rivendell. Not listed under Rangers of Estelden, but it says North Downs. As somebody who really works the boards continuously, it's a little frustrating that they're not kept up as much as I'd like. Like these smooth scales are supposed to be turnable into the troll shaws, but if you go to the boards here, this is a level 35 task item. Yeah, they're not here. If I go to the 31 to 40 board, and somebody mentioned last time that you have to go to there's a camp in the troll shaws and you have to turn them in directly there, and it's like, but why can't you turn them in here in the housing area? That was the whole point of having this in the housing area. Smooth wings are here, but no smooth scales. Nice if task boards had some feature to be able to scan our inventories and display stuff you actually have in your bags at the time. Yeah, it'd be nice. Antler says, what's the item level? Level 35, smooth scales. Been collecting these off of worms in the troll shaws. I have 3 stacks of them. And if you highlight them, the tooltip says this may be turned in for tasks in the troll shaws. It's a damnable lie, I say. At least it can't be turned in here for tasks in the troll shaws. Smooth scales just not on the list. So you actually have to go out into the troll shaws and go to Candiath Camp. I don't remember the name. It's an elf name. Let's see if we can find it. Breland, North Downs, Troll Shaws, High Moors. That's Rivendell, Giant Valley. North Troll Shaws. To the Misty Mountains. High Moors. Brunnen Gorge. Edge of Imladris. Thornhead. The Angle. You know, that one camp that's not here on this list. Very strange.
Hey, Ed.
Yes. Yes, Antler.
I am actually looking at the board on my screen.
Uh-huh.
So what you're gonna want to do is, it is on there. It's Elves of Rivendell Task Smooth Scales.
Yeah. Why am I not seeing it? Elves of Rivendell Task Smooth Scale. I got Silky. Come on, board. 31 to 40 board, right?
Yep. Oh, go up. It should be under the. It should be above Smooth Wings.
Yeah, it's not there. Look at my feed. I don't have it.
Your picture, your camera is in the way of the board menu.
I can fix that. I'll move the board menu.
Huh, that's weird.
Super weird.
Do you have it?
I have like 3 stacks of them.
Well, I mean, do you have the actual task quest?
No, because if I right-clicked on that board, it would let me turn it in. If we go check my quests and we go to tasks, it's not even on the list. If we check Troll Shaws, it's just regular landscape quests. I don't have any tasks currently pending turn-in.
Very weird.
Isn't it weird?
Oh, you know why? Because it said it's level 41.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a level 35 task item. That doesn't make any sense.
So it might be because of the location of where you got it.
I call bullcrap on that.
I know, right?
Owen 32 checking in. Hello, Owen. Geeks Tour's here. Something is strange afoot at the Circle K. You are not wrong, Geeks Tour.
I just think that's weird, though.
Owen was seen playing Path of Exile. Been streaming that on Saturdays, Owen, and we're talking about maybe mixing it up on Wednesdays with a little Path of Exile, too.
Say probably go to Ecod Candleth.
There you go. That's the camp. Why can't I find that on the map either? That was driving me nuts. I'm
Um,
like, I'm over here in the Trollshaws just searching futilely for it, and it's like, oh, there it is.
yeah,
I was almost on it earlier. Okay. So I'm told if I actually go there, it's on the board there.
yeah, it should be. I don't know why it's not available on your on the housing board.
It's cray cray.
You know why?
Because, like,
Because
well, I can go to the 41 to 50 board, and there's all kinds of tasks for me to turn in.
yeah, that's weird.
I agree. I think it's very strange. I can access all these 41 to 50 task item turn-ins. I don't know. A green giraffe in the shape of a quest range on your Trollshaws map. That's pretty cool. That is for the Rolling Stones quest. Not just a landscape quest in the Trollshaws, but the greatest rock and roll band ever, whose glory shall shine on for all eternity. So yeah, that's a thing. File scavengers. A momentous decision. The Burning Island, not on that map. Oh, that's my favorite Stone song, Belanx Bond. Love Can't You Hear Me Knockin'. Although, if I had to pick a favorite Stones album, it's really tough to beat Exile on Main Street. That is truly a glorious, glorious record. Love that riff. Okay, so the mystery of why smooth scales aren't showing up here on the task board, don't know. It's a little aggravating. I'd like to get them turned in and get them out of my inventory, but it's not really a big crisis. Exile and Sticky are too hard to decide. Actually, that whole range of albums from Let It Bleed and Beggar's Banquet through... I mean, you could argue maybe Black and Blue wasn't that great, but you had... I personally liked the album a lot. It didn't have a lot of big radio hits on it, but It's Only Rock and Roll, Goat's Head Soup, Sticky Fingers, Exile, Beggar's Banquet. I mean, what a just a run of fantastic albums, one after another, after another, after another. It's all great stuff. Typed it as he said it. In fact, I saw they just released a lyric video on YouTube for 100 years ago. So yeah, welcome to Stones Talk. We might actually play some Lotro at some point. Longest running band with the same members? Well, they did have to replace Brian after Brian Jones got fired and then passed away. And then Mick Taylor left the band after just a few albums. Very talented guitarist. But yeah, Ronnie Wood and Bill Wyman retired. He eventually got so terrified of flying he just didn't want to tour anymore. He still tours the UK. He's got his own band. I think Billy and the Poor Boys. and they still tour the UK because he doesn't have to fly. And Bill's 86, 87 now. I mean, he's right up there. Of course, Charlie passed away, but Daryl Jones from Keith Richards' Expensive Winos replaced Bill Wyman in the touring band. I think he played on some of the recent studio albums as well.
Dinger is wondering if you're gonna put a mini fridge next to your PC setup at third room in the new apartment.
That's a good question, Zinger. I actually had a mini fridge that I had forgotten I swiped from work a long time ago, and it had been sitting in the hallway closet buried, and it was one of the things we dug out, and I think I let my nephew take it home with him. Some of the best exercise I get is going to and from the fridge for extra Coke Zeros. So, Ginger checking in. Hi, Ginger.
I know, Ginger.
What else can we turn in? All right, let's get back to trying to get some McLean rep going. I know I've got enough broken short bows to keep me busy.
The Glane. Not much to get for rep.
You can actually craft rep for the Eglain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a board in Ostgaruth, and the problem is you have to basically buy the quest, but then you can go craft common expert level items. What's funny about it, though, is if you accidentally crit success, then you can't turn it in for the rep XP. It's kind of funny. Okay, I must be short on short bows. Which is okay. I can go in and cancel that. And then it temporarily won't show up on the list. Freelancer checking in. Hi, Freelancer. I think I had heavy sheaths. I have quite a few of those. So everybody's of the opinion that if I hit level 41 that smooth scales will magically appear on the task item board for me.
It's a possibility, yes.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know.
I'm not angry, I'm just angry. Task limit reached, 9 of 9.
You're gonna take your anger out on the troll shaws.
ZZ Top is or was also the longest running with unchanged lineup. Do they go all the way back to 1962, Ponton? Shame about their drummer passing away. ZZ Top actually opened up for the Stones on the 81 tour. Fun fact. They were a good band. Early ZZ Top before Eliminator was very cool. In fact, I have a couple of airshow segments with old ZZ Top songs. Cheap Sunglasses and something else. Heard it on the X. Great tune, not one I used in the airshow though. Might have been bad, I'm nationwide. Blue Jean Blues, Mexican Blackbird. Freelancer apparently is also a ZZ Top fan. I do have to say, Freelancer's taste in rock music is fairly impeccable. It's one of his many fine qualities. Alright, so task item turn-ins are done. I was dinking around out in the troll shaws. We were laughing about it. I was so tired last Friday night. I kept nodding off while I was riding around in the troll shaws. and then I'd accidentally bump the keyboard and turn my character, and then I wouldn't know what direction I was riding. I must have spent 45 minutes out in the woods trying to find Thorinhad when I was really just, I was like, oh yeah, I'm working on Slayer Deeds. It's like, yeah, I was just trying to find my way back to Thorinhad.
All right. Was that like after I left?
Probably, yeah. You left fairly early. You had to work last Saturday morning,
Yeah.
so.
So I'll
Greetings,
have to
friends.
watch that.
Oh, I guess as long as we were talking about it and I'm heading out to the Trollshaws anyway, let's go to Ostgaruth. Just so everybody can see what the heck I was prattling on about. Bree, Elder Slade Boar. Oh, well, I'm not kindred, so I don't have the travel to Ostgaruth. I think Bacchus ported us last time. Where can you take
How
me?
can I be of service?
I'll get my old man glasses on. No Lone Lands destinations.
They should have. Oh no, they don't.
Are you just making up stuff now?
No.
Okay. Working on a brand new brawler on Gladden. I have not unlocked that class.
To South Bree, and then port to Oscaruth.
Oh, enjoying the brawler. Good. I think Zinger had been playing a brawler, or I'm making that up. One of the two. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think Zinger said he'd been enjoying the brawler. Or I'm wrong. Planning on tanking with them? Cool. MacGuffin wants to know how a brawler compares to a champ. Singer confirms, yeah, it's a neat class. Fun animations. Haven't played it in a while, though. Brawler one hits far more easily than the champ. A champ Cappy hybrid. I was like, okay, well, I can take the Gandalf magic port to Rivendell. I'm like, wait, if I want to go to Ostgaruth, that's a really long ride. Probably better off just heading out from the South Bree Gate. Also, because of the move, I will not be snacking tonight. I don't believe there's a single morsel of food in the house. I have cleaned out the refrigerator except for soda, and there's no snacks anywhere. AoE is what I enjoy most about champs.
Greetings.
Why are the Lone Lands not on here? There we go. We ride for the Forsaken Inn and for glory. Freelancer says Minstrel AoE is the best. He's not wrong. Oh man, especially against anything vulnerable to light. Minstrel light attacks. Oof. MacGuffin's never been able to get into other classes. My champ has been my main tune since 2007. My champ is my main, but I've actually gotten a Runekeeper to level 140. And like I said, I really enjoy all the classes. In fact, I'm a bit of an oddball in that I'm not a huge fan of Hunter. It's not that I dislike the class, but it's just kind of...
Too easy?
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels overpowered to where if you die as a hunter, it's because you fell asleep or just ran into some really bad luck. And I only have one hunter on all of my accounts that I can recall. I might have a second one somewhere on an alternate account. But she's, like level 125, and I enjoy dusting her off and playing her once in a while. There really isn't a bad class in Lotro. The only one I haven't played is the Brawler, and you guys are saying good things about Brawler, so... Can he say that on Lotro stream? I can if Bacchus isn't here to protest Singer. I tricked him by saying I wasn't going to be streaming tonight, but here I am. Warden is the most survivable class easily. Bjorning is close. I've certainly enjoyed playing Warden. I haven't really gotten into Bjorning a whole lot either. But I haven't played one very far. I think my Bjorning is like 18th level or something. Guardian, Hunter, Lore Master, Runekeeper, and Warden all to level 50. Still a champ. Nothing wrong with that. Champ is quite fun. In fact, I keep threatening to dust off Galandriel and get her to level 140, but frankly, there's not that much that's very exciting at level 140. That's kind of demotivating.
Greetings.
I probably shouldn't say that on Lotro stream either. Holy cow. Jasko hasn't even been to Ostgaruth. That doesn't make any sense.
Are you serious?
I was sure Bacchus ported us there when we vectored into there to do quests.
Did you not
Tag the stable master? It would be almost impossible for me not to.
Maybe you were tired and just forgot to do it?
Yeah. It's tough. I've been using a lot of black tar heroin lately just to cope, and so it kind of makes me sleepy and forgetful. Not really. Don't do heroin, kids. It's bad for you. Hoping if I can keep Bacchus off a Lotro stream, I might be able to pick up more Australian and French viewers. Bacchus is fun to hang out and play video games with, but he's terrible for international relations. Heroin, nah, I'm already addicted to Marvel Strike Force, mobile game. Cool. Ooh, we got a most recent Lotro letter. Brawler's medal is like Champ's fervor. Builds to unlock skills and increase damage. Well, the nice thing about Lotro MacGuffin is it's always here if you want to come back. And I find mixing in a few different games kind of keeps any one of them from getting too stale. I was getting kind of down on Lotro a few weeks ago because I was just finding the level 140 content to not be particularly exciting. Gundabad was terrific, don't get me wrong. I very much enjoyed exploring Gundabad and probably still haven't seen all of it. In fact, I'm sure I haven't. But after that, missions and delvings and it's just like, ugh, not my cup of tea. Your mileage may vary. So once that's why I dusted off Jasco and started playing a lowish level burglar. It's actually made the game more fun again. And we've got a new group of characters we're going to play as a group on Gladden on Wednesday nights occasionally. We got a chance to pull them out of the toolkit and run around a little bit in Breeland on Wednesday. That was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
A little chaotic with, I think we had 10 of us.
Yep.
But it was fun. Adoranelle agrees. She takes long breaks from Lotro occasionally, always happy to return. Oh, MacGuffin has a lifetime account? There you go. That will invariably make everybody... Did I ride past it? I rode right past Oscaruth. I was so busy talking I didn't notice. Like, why is the last bridge popping up over there? Well, however you count, 9 of us in Ram. Ram counts. Nope, maybe I just got confused in the dark.
Started on dark of the lowlands.
Well, this looks like the outpost. No, that should be Oscaruth over there. Yeah, there's the red circle. See, I'm telling you, it's that black tar heroin. It's just messing with my perception. It's basically a Jagger Jack raid. He counts for 2 or 3. Yeah, his Wi-Fi kept disconnecting. That was getting real frustrating. Anyway, the whole point of me writing out here was to show you this NPC vendor. not Frederick.
How can I be of service?
I just have a quest to turn in, and it's good for rep. Leave the rest of that alone for now. This guy right here, Leoflak. Check your crafting. I have to look. I'm a jeweler, prospector, cook. So if you check what he has for sale,
Can I help you with something?
he's got a bunch of these quests, and the ones that aren't outlined in red are ones you can do. Hearty onion soup, ruby ring of willpower, and you can buy these quests for 21 silver each and do them. I think you can do them over and over as long as you've got the crafting materials, and you get 700 rep every time you do one of these. And I think this was probably added because it was always a little challenging to finish your rep with the Aglain.
And I think, couldn't you do those like bounty hunter type quests over at the Forsaken Inn?
Unless they added something new recently, I don't think there's enough of those to get you through. There's a few that are repeatable, but I think you can only do them 3 times. Which helps, don't get me wrong, but these you can do as long as you've got the crafting material. And they've got them for almost every vocation except for farming, prospecting, and forestry. They don't have them for base collection skills, but they have them for the finished product skills. Fishing poles for woodworker. Gondorian throwing hatchets for armsmen. Heavy cotton cloak for tailors. But what's funny about it is if like you try to make a ruby ring of willpower and it's critical success, it changes the name of the item and it can no longer be turned in for rep. So it's actually bad to crit when you're trying to craft those. It's kind of funny. How can you be level 40 and not started in Ostgaruth? Probably did North Downs instead. No? Actually, my rep is worse. I'm not that far off on Lone Lands rep. Let's go take a look at the rep again. Character. Nope, I hit X instead of C. There we go. So with the Aglain, I'm at least friend. So I think we did some quests out here, and I got about halfway up the rep chain, and then we just moved into the Troll Shaws. Oh, we did Evandim. We moved out early to Evandim, and what else did I do? I don't remember. So when the move is done and I'm sleeping, I'll get rested up and I will not be quite so addle-brained in a week or so. It'll be a good thing. But we took off for Evandim for no apparent reason, and we moved into the Troll Shaws early because I wanted to collect crafting materials. I needed platinum. You get to friend before you really get into Ostgaruth. You're not wrong. But I'm wondering if I've ever talked to... No, I never touched the stable master. That's really weird. Because what do I like to do at Ostgaruth?
What do you need?
Need to tag the stable master for one. This is a great area to start catching trout. As long as you have your fishing skill up to level 50, or at least a modified 50 if you're carrying a fishing rod. Let's see, what do I have for fishing rod? Basic fishing rod. Man, I got to get a woodworker to craft me a better fishing rod. That's okay, basic will do.
What level are you?
40. I should be able to handle a Lebathron fishing rod. Chatapana? Could be. Fish? What server? I am on Krikalo.
Let's see, I might be able to craft you a Labrathian fishing rod.
Okay. I pronounce that Lebethron.
Me port back to Hennidur. I might be able to craft you a critical one too.
All right, I will accept that. Librathon. Lebethon James, the famous hoop ball player. Singer, you always have sports ball on the brain.
Actually, I hear he might be retiring.
Oop, I accidentally went into stealth instead of fished. I think I leaned on my control button as I was tapping 1 for fishing. If you're really going to be a pro Lotro player, you need to have your fishing skill in the number 1 slot. It's very important. Oh man, I just tossed 2 smelts out. I grabbed dinner at the Greek restaurant near our home, Jim and Jenny's, just north of 90th and Maple last night, and they took the fried smelt off the menu. And I ordered this dish called combination Tigana. It's like a Greek stir fry. It used to have come with pork, chicken, and Greek sausage, and they can't get the Greek sausage anymore, so they took it out of the menu. So I can't get Greek sausage, and I can't get fried smelt. Makes me sad. But you can fish here right by the Ostgaruth stables and actually finish your Troutmaster deed. You can catch all 9 of your trout right here. Or you can catch a rusty hammer. That's good for a point of fishing. My fishing skill's 67 now. If I can get it up to level 100, then I can start catching darter. And Oghair in Angmar is a good place to do that. No 50-pound salmon here that I'm aware of. Generally speaking, 50-pound salmon come out of the same water that you catch sturgeon in. So you have to have at least, I was going to say ancient iron, ancient silver, but I think you might actually need Kazan Skarn or better. And then you have to have at least 150 fishing skill. Darter unlocks at 100 and sturgeon unlocks at 150. And I think as long as you're at 150, you can catch 50-pound salmon. They make impressive wall trophies. But the 40-pound salmon make pretty impressive wall trophies too, don't get me wrong. The thing that the better fishing rods do for you, like I think a critical success Librathron fishing rod is +5. So if my fishing skill is 68, that would make it 73 effectively. And when it's 95, it would effectively be 100, and I could unlock darter sooner rather than later. Wouldn't have to grind up the other 5 points before I could start having a chance of catching them.
Let's see here.
I used to equip my Erebrander's horseshoe when fishing. Yeah, for the longest time, who knew what it did? I used to equip it randomly all the time too, you know, just in case. Does it make my loot drops better? Does it improve my chance of critical crafting? Who knew? Nobody knew. They're very tongue-in-cheek about it. So MacGuffin, you said you were thinking about coming back. What was the last content you played through at the upper end? Have you seen Mordor? Have you been through Minas Morgul? Have you explored Gundabad? The Dwarf Lands? There's a lot of great high-end content. Freelancer says, wait, you don't know what it really does? I know what the official thing is. We're just talking about when we used to try it. Left the game circa 2017. Well, I tell you what, if you do come back, there's a lot of cool new content to see and explore. They really have done a very nice job of continuing the game. Not just through the destruction of the Ring of Power, but even beyond. There's a lot of very good original storyline stuff that they've fleshed out. Server populations are good. The new content's terrific. If you want to play through group content, you shouldn't have any problems finding folks to play with. Logging in every anniversary to get stuff and 1 year's worth of store points. You are rich in Lotro points, no doubt about it. I was just going to fish till I got my skill up to 71, and then I'll probably call it, as far as fishing goes anyway. But for anybody out there who's newer to Lotro, who's not playing a level 140 character, this is a good way to play Lotro. Enjoy the ride. Don't rush to level cap. There's nothing fantastic waiting for you there. Usually when you get to level cap, it's just stuff to keep you busy until they can get more content produced. That's been my experience anyway. Again, your mileage may vary. 36,000 Lotro points for 6 years. You have the content, you just haven't done the new quests. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot to see and explore. And you have to get to 200 fishing on all your characters. You can get your Lord or Lady of Streams badge. It's a great title.
You've got mail.
Thank you.
And I
Crying
sent
for
you a
deeds and virtues, always fun. And you sent me what?
I sent you a little extra too.
Okay. Just remember, if you're screwing with me, I will flood your mailbox with fishing trophies.
You mean stuff I can make some money off at a vendor too?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would love that.
Not rhubarb? That was Magical Ducky's thing. Magical Ducky mailed Jalapeno like 4,000 pieces of rhubarb or something crazy. Oh, doggone it, I usually almost never do that. Yeah, one night Jalapeno was talking and he's like, oh yeah, if anybody needs any food crafted, just let me know. I've got to cook. And so, me being, the good friend that I am, I decided that every time I randomly passed a tater or a head of cabbage, I just pick it up and mail it to Jalapeno. Wonder why he doesn't talk to me more. And it was a little funny at first, and then I got everybody in our kin to do it, and then he got mad. It's like, why didn't I just told them that I was doing it? I didn't tell everybody that they should do it too. But everybody just really liked the idea. What can I say? I'm what my teachers used to refer to as an instigator. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, Antler, but Coke Zero is delicious. The way you played Among Us, I can believe it, Freelancer. Machiavelli would have loved you. Freelancer said, my teachers never said that about me. Someone else was always accused. Not guilty, just accused. I've also been very lucky with the server, Arkenstone. I haven't had to go through server transfers and having to rename my tunes. Yeah, that would get a little frustrating after a while. Okay, fishing skill 70. I am one click away.
What is that supposed to mean?
Means we should never play Among Us with Freelancer.
Playing Among Us. I had no clue what I was doing. Not my fault you guys could never figure out when it was me.
Well, that's okay.
You guys threw Rem out an airlock because of me.
Let's face it, that's just a good way for us to get some frustrations out.
Oh, yeah.
I had a nickel for every time I typed the phrase Rem is sus. It's true even when we're not playing Among Us.
Yep.
What killed me was every time Gwar saw something and told everybody, everybody jumped on him.
Ooh, a Ruthless Rudd. Okay, I am at fishing 71. We'll re-equip the daggers. Move the fishing pole down. And move the fishing skill back to an upper bar.
That fishing rod I made you should last you a while until you decide to go to Rohan and get a Rohirric rod.
All right. When I go fishing in real life, I tend to use very lightweight, ultralight spinning equipment, and I like longer rods for easier casting. So if you get like a 6 or 6.5 foot ultralight rod, they're very fragile. I've watched my friends just like snap them like twigs, getting in and out of the boat clumsily. Mrs. M was fishing with one of my ultralight rigs, and the reel came loose from the rod handle, and she didn't notice it was wobbling. and it just fell off into the lake. And I was like, that was one of my favorite ultralight reels. It's like, she's my wife. Don't yell at her. She'll murder you
You
in your
broke my
sleep.
favorite fishing rod. I'm divorcing you.
Nah. I'll get her back different ways. Okay, I came back in here for something. What was I going to do? I don't know. I think I came back in here for no particular reason. We'll head into the troll shaws, I guess. I can keep working on landscape quests and maybe I was planning on filleting the fish.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that later. That's okay.
What do you want?
And I don't know if you noticed when I put it in chat, you can start in Before the Shadow and Mossword
Uh-huh.
and still come to Bree and do any of the other prologues you wish.
Oh, okay.
So you're not excluded. I'm assuming that works in both directions. I haven't taken anybody over there to Mossword and tried starting the prologue. There might be a cap level on starting it or not. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I was doing the prologue in Mossword. I'll check that out. Since my burglar is now in Bree, Ginger says it works both ways.
Very
And
good.
Adornell says, oh, good to know. Thanks, Freelancer. While I am riding to Rivendell, I will also go get a beverage. Chairstream hype. Antler, sing something jaunty for everybody. Keep them entertained. I'll be right back.
Ave Maria. Ave Maria.
Muting the stream.
Yeah, there's some things you just can't unhear. But the good news is, since he didn't hit a single note correctly, we will not get a copyright strike on the stream for that, so that's okay. Switching to Diet 2. I do have one Coke Zero in the fridge, but it's for emergency uses only. Although I just forgot something else.
So in other words, if you fall asleep on the stream, that's when you can open it.
Yep, exactly. Oh, MacGuffin said earlier that my virtues are maxed out. If you haven't played since 2017, your virtues have changed drastically. I actually put in a whole new virtue system. There's also new skill trees that you may or may not have seen. But the virtue system is now radically different than it used to be. They scale differently, they do different things. And now the virtues that you don't have equipped still have passive effects that give you boosts. I log in at
And
least once a
going
year.
back to
Okay, so you've seen it.
2017,
Okay,
you
hopefully
might
you've seen
not
the
even
system.
have WIT.
Well, MacGuffin did clear that up. He did say that he logs in once a year.
This is
Oh, in 2023, you've been logging on almost once a month. Very good. And I apologize if I misgendered you. I just think of McGruff the crime dog, and McGruff was a boy dog. Hence my leap. The only reason I haven't fully returned yet is because I don't have a good enough computer. You don't have a good enough computer for Lotro? I have played
I have no response to that.
played and streamed Lotro from my wife's 5600G with no video card. Nope, just my work laptop. Yeah, if you've got Intel integrated graphics, that would be pretty rough.
Well, the bigger problem is work laptop might just have defenses against having something like Lotro installed.
True enough. So Lotro doesn't run on potatoes. Well, it probably runs badly and in low res. Also that.
It runs quite acceptably on Intel 630 graphics.
What resolution and detail? 1080p medium?
1080p and at least medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like you suggested, MacGuffin's work laptop's probably locked down.
I know mine were.
Oh, I had a
I
funny...
couldn't have gotten around it, but I liked our IT guys, and I didn't need them angry at me.
There you go. My work iPhone. I have a 6-month-old iPhone I got when I started with my new company. And we just changed some of our enterprise software from one security package to another one. And I was going through the instructions step by step on removing the old software and installing the new stuff. And one of the steps was uninstall this app and then go ahead and reset your phone to factory specs, making sure that this, and this is backed up. And as locked down as our phones are, the only thing I really use it for is Teams and Outlook. So I'm like, okay, so I don't really need to worry about my backups. I go ahead and wipe the phone, and it ends up basically bricked. It gets to the step where it says, your company cannot download your management profile. Please contact your system administrator. And so I send off I called the help desk, the national help desk, and they're like, yeah, I haven't heard of this before. I'll have to open a ticket. And I get a message a day or two later from one of the higher level mobile tech support guys, one of the Apple specialists, and he's like, yeah, you don't happen to have access to a Macintosh in the office or at home, do you? And my exact response was, well, actually, with the help of a higher power, I'm able to now live my life Macintosh free, comma, one day at a time, ... Is there any way to fix this using a real computer? And his response was, yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of locked in. We need a Mac to fix this. We'll just have to go ahead and send you a new phone. So they just sent me a new iPhone. And I had this go to this link and you can fill out this form to return your old phone. And I started filling it out, and I realized I was basically filling out a request to go through the recycling process that I actually manage at our site for all of our old tech. It's like, you're just going to scrap this practically brand new iPhone because it got bricked in a software update. You're not going to make Verizon fix it and send it back or rotate it out. It's like, okay, whatever. But Apple makes very fine products, but if you have a hiccup, they make it very frustrating to get service. They don't make them easy to repair. You have to go to Apple authorized service centers, and then you get the mobile thing in, and then you have to get carriers involved, and it's just... I guess my company just decided it's just easier to replace the phones and scrap anything that hiccups along the way. I saw a video where a guy got the game Doom to run on a calculator using nothing but hundreds of potatoes for power. Yeah, I do recall that video. That was pretty cool. Literally potato powered. I was telling my nephew the story about a kid who used to come into my video game store and hang out, and he showed up after I sold my interest in the game store. I was managing a computer store here in town, and we did small and mid-sized, small business computers and entry-level file server stuff and high-end home computing things. And the kid came in and was just visiting and stuff, and he was like, hey, let me show you something cool. And he took a standard Doom level and just kind of played around with editing it. And like one of the walkways he turned into an elevator, so you could click on it and make it go up and down. And he just changed some stuff on the level, playing around with the level editor. And I think at the time we were looking for a new bench tech to help build PCs and do repairs and upgrades and stuff. And I was like, I talked to my service manager. I'm like, hey, Paul, aren't we looking for a bench tech? What about this kid James? He seems pretty bright. Why do you think he'd be a good tech? Well, he just wandered in here to say hi, but he was showing me some of these Doom level edits he did and some of the stuff he was playing around with. Oh, that's easy. Anybody can do that. Really? Why don't you show me the Doom levels that you've created? Oh, it's not hard to do. I'm like, but that's my point. You haven't done it. I haven't done it. But just this kid's curious enough that he went in and started playing around with the Doom editor and was doing some of his own stuff. I mean, he seems to be naturally inquisitive and maybe slightly gifted in working with this stuff. Give him a try. If you don't like it, we can let him go, but do you have another applicant? No. Okay, I'll try the kid out, but if he doesn't work out, he's out of here. Okay. So he ended up working out just fine, and then our store got sold to another outfit, so he went over to the new outfit, was a bench tech there for a long time, and then the last time I talked to him, it's been a few years, but he was an exchange administrator for a fairly major tech company here in town. And it's just the funniest thing. It's like, just because this kid edited some Doom levels, it was the one spark he needed to actually break into IT. Because I was like, he's not stupid. Maybe we should take a look at this kid. And it was pretty funny that his whole career launched just because he was editing Doom levels.
Not that you're saying that's the threshold for working in IT.
No.
Just don't be stupid.
Yeah, just don't be stupid. But just having a natural curiosity and learning things on your own is an innate skill that I think benefits all IT personnel. I was laughing as I was cleaning out the different shelves and boxes and stuff. I have no idea how many Linux ISOs and different distros I have looked at and gone through and played around with. And it's that natural curiosity, that wanting to figure things out, that I think separates good IT people from people who just show up to collect paychecks. and that was just something I recognized in James, and I'm like, he might actually work out. And yeah, we turned him loose on the bench, and he was just soaking in everything he could learn. He was just fascinated by this stuff, and I was glad that he was able to parlay that into an IT career, because I think he had been working as like a shuttle bus driver at the airport before that. And sometimes you need to try a few different things before you find your passion and actually get out into the world and do something you enjoy doing. Antler has a Nano. I still do. Apple does suck. We wanted to watch a show on Apple TV Plus, but had an issue we could not pay Apple for its service. We even called them with no luck. MacGuffin rephrased, I wouldn't say Apple sucks, just not my cup of tea. Some months later, it fixed itself or something, is decided to try logging in again with no issues. Very good. Bugcatcher Binet says, wait, is this free-to-play Friday on Crick? It's not officially free-to-play Friday. I ran the free-to-play Friday series up until I got Warsteinig to Mines of Moria. And by the time you get to Mines of Moria, you're basically set. I mean, you can just go play the game. But I've been playing Jasko the Burglar and just having some fun with a lower level character. Doing delvings at level 140 was probably going to drive me to start drinking, so I wanted to mix it up and find something I actually enjoyed. But yeah, this is a 40th level burglar on that free-to-play account I just created a year ago, March 25th. And I still log in and still play the characters from time to time. And I've been running Jasko around on Fridays. I always enjoy burglar. Although, if I'm level 40... maybe we should stick our head into the Misty Mountains and see what's going on.
Ooh, do the Goblin Town quest line.
And not tonight. We can start heading that direction, though. I always enjoy the Misty Mountains. Particularly if it's summertime and it's hot, and we actually got into the upper 80s, lower 90s this week. I like to play Forakel and Misty Mountains and Wildemore and get into the snowy areas. It doesn't feel as hot out when your character's riding through a blizzard.
That's suggestible, huh?
Oh, yeah. How do you think Mrs. Mustafa hypnotized me and tricked me into marrying her? She even made me think it was my idea. You will propose, you will propose, you will propose. I will propose. I hear and obey you, my queen.
So the joke's on her.
Yeah, she's been regretting it ever since. Bugcatcher Banat says, I was so happy to see you on my server. I like to play on all the free-to-play English-speaking servers. I'd play on the German and French servers, but I no hablo Francais or Deutsch. I do not parlez-vous. Oh, look at that. I barely get off my horse and boom, there's this beautiful platinum deposit just waiting for me.
Maybe I should go there and snag them all.
Without question, Bugcatcher, Crick Hollow is one of my 15 most favorite Lotro servers. How many are there now?
Well, depending on how you count.
Have we lost our legendary servers, or are those still a thing?
There's one.
Okay. Shadowfax or
Shadowfax, yes.
Treebeard?
Greetings.
Shadowfax.
I
I still got
figured.
to figure out where I want to send my Anor characters.
I thought they might keep the one with the slower leveling rather than the one with the faster leveling. Are they? They're keeping it
I
because
could
it's
be wrong.
adjustable difficulty. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I've heard more about Shadowfax lately than about Treebeard, so that's what I thought.
Somebody in chat will know. That's why I love streaming on Lotro streams. You guys can all clue me in on stuff I don't know. MacGuffin says Arkenstone for the win. Arkenstone is also one of my 12 or 15 most favorite Lotro servers. That's actually my home server as well, MacGuffin. My logic when I first started playing the game, I made all female characters at first because it was Shadows of Angmar, and the Witch King of Angmar can be killed by no man. And I assumed that the server list would be presented alphabetically, so Arkenstone would always be at the top of the list, and then, of course, neither ended up being true. They were both false assumptions, but I'm still happy to be on Arkenstone.
All right, so for those of you who are wondering, Shadowfax will be closing to public login on May 31st.
Huh. Alright, so Treebeard's the one that remains.
Yep.
Bears of the North. Ravaging Beasts.
Free character and shared item transfers will remain available from Shadowfax to any other non-legendary world through August 31st. After that, Shadowfax Game World will be closed permanently, and any remaining characters will not be transferable or accessed.
Ooh, have they
Nice.
done that? Has Anor gone up in smoke?
I
Or
think
can I
so.
still transfer those characters? I mean, it's not a huge deal. I only had like 6 or 7 characters, and none of them was over level 70.
Oh, there we go. Bugcatcher says I have a few tunes on Crick, but I play Creep on Arkenstone. Arkenstone and Evernight are the Creep servers. If you like to play in the Etten Moors, those are the servers with the most action. At least that's what I've been told.
I don't pay much attention to that, but I hear people talking about PvP on Gladden fairly regularly. I don't know that it's big.
Yeah, I know Eldolith used to play a lot of PvMP on Gladden, and she actually moved characters to Arkenstone when the scene there kind of died down. Might have picked up again. I have no idea.
Don't know. Really care.
This is what Redline burglars do well. If you have the right skills selected, they one-shot. You can sneak up and just stab something in the back and drop it like a hot potato.
Coup de grace?
I don't even think I've got coup de grace yet. I'm just using sneak combined with diversion to hold them still, then aim, and then surprise strike. Boom, down they go.
All right, folks, I'm actually going to head off to bed. It is that time.
All right, Antler, have a good night. Keep working on your shooty boats, and hopefully you'll be able to join us for ops soon.
Yep. I actually do have operations unlocked.
Well, the ship requirement is level 6 minimum.
Yeah, so hopefully maybe if I play for 4 days or something, I can get a P6.
Well, you should be able to start doing random operations instead of...
Yep. I've been doing those.
You're getting a lot more XP now, too, aren't you?
Yep.
Like triple?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Well, and just being in higher tiers, you'll get more XP than if you're playing down in the lower tiers, too.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Good night, Antler. He got very bored with shooty boats talk and wanted to go to bed right away. That's the big Ed Mustafa effect, where you're like, is he still talking? I'm really tired. I feel sleepy. And Antler had to just log off before he just passed out right at his desk. You guys have all been there listening to me before. That's okay.
There is no truth to that.
I think you're endlessly fascinating, Ed. I love listening. Exactly. Might explain why Mrs. Mustafa's been so narcoleptic our whole marriage. Oh my God, he's still talking. Why did I marry him? So if I don't use aim, I might have to stab him twice. But I think aim just basically gives you 100% critical hit chance. So if aim's not on cooldown and you pop that, you're going to hurt whoever you backstab pretty severely. Aim combined with coup de grace, even on a boss on level, you'll generally do about half of their health on you're on your first strike. It's highly effective. The key to success is to not have Bacchus shooting them before you can sneak up on them.
Yeah.
Oh, and they can't be undead. That's also a thing.
So the brawler has a skill which is called First Strike,
Mm-hmm.
which cannot be used against a foe once they lose 20% of their health. So it really is intended to be an opener. And at least at the post-intro levels, 13 now, it very often does like 85-90% damage.
Nice. I forgot to addle. Always be addling.
Do your tricks.
Well, of course you don't get trait points for those class deeds anymore, do you? Maybe I don't even care anymore.
Nah, you just get LP, it looks like. So there goes the market for skill deed accelerators, huh?
Could be, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised. Always be boastfully adding is how ABBA got their name. Always be boastfully addling. Sorry, misread that singer. Oh, I can pickpocket these guys too. I failed to burgle. I'll murder him since he didn't have anything good for me to take. Although those guys actually drop Elvish relics that give you a lot of rep with Rivendell, but I haven't gotten one yet. I've only killed a couple of them though. Probably need to kill more than 2 before those Elvish relics start dropping.
I used to make it a habit of, it's right after hitting 39, I would go straight to the
Oh, your class trainer?
stairs.
Oh,
Well, after picking up the books, what is that place called? The
Bitter Stare? Is
with
that
all
right?
the corker? No, dang.
What are you thinking, Helagrod? Or where I'm actually at?
You're near. The bitter stare.
Yeah, it's what I
Bitter
said.
stairs. You're near there.
I literally said the Bitter Stare, and he said no.
I didn't hear it that way. Okay.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that was the best place for repping pages. Right away at 39. Goblin Town's better, but you don't really want to go in there alone at 39.
Actually, as a burglar, well, maybe not at 39. But man, if you ever want to know a good reason to play burglar, Goblin Town.
Goblin Town. I mean, yeah. Hunter, too. You can do a lot of sneaking. But yeah.
Yeah, it's funny is I bought my class books and I don't know that I've gotten a single page yet. That's okay.
Greetings, Big Ed.
Hello,
Greetings, Freelancer.
Good
Nick. How the heck are you?
Hi. Hanging in there in
Awesome.
South Carolina right now.
Well, remember to order unsweet iced tea because if you just say iced tea, you're basically going to get sugar syrup.
Apparently, a part of coming to South Carolina is everyone wears Crocs. So my mom's like, "Yeah, you have to get a pair of Crocs." I was like, "That's disgusting." But I'm down here for 6 weeks.
That's nice. Get to spend some time with your mom and your brother. That is the voice of our old friend, SKDX Killer, former recovering Lotro Stream Team member. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure. He's been recently playing and streaming Overwatch, but we still like him anyway. I have it installed, by the way. I think I mentioned it the other night.
I was like, I asked Nate, I was like, "When did Ed raid me?" He's like, "I think you went to the bathroom." I was like, "Oh."
No, you were just hanging out talking to some gal.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were playing a game, and I bought a lot, because, for whatever reason, we can't figure out what the issue at my house is with all these computers I was getting, so I said, like, never mind, and went and just got a laptop, and while I'm at my mom's and stuff, so I have one screen right now to use, so I was using my phone as the chat thing, and I was like, oh, and I hit the button, I was like, oh, Ed raided me, and I didn't even know?
That's all right.
So I saw your message, heard that you moved, congratulations.
Haven't completely finished the move. I'm actually in the old apartment right now. I have nothing except my computer set up and the large pieces of furniture. I'm supposed to have movers coming out tomorrow to move the heavy stuff, and I will be finally in the new apartment tomorrow.
It's like a bachelor pad, and there's nothing in it.
I've been sorting and throwing stuff away, and man. Mrs. M's retail therapy was more expensive than I ever knew.
You remember why you hated moving so much?
Uh, well, the last couple of times I've moved, I just packed up all my stuff and called the movers and went to lunch. It really wasn't a big deal. But with her being in the hospital all this time, me having to sort through all of our stuff alone, decide what stays, what goes, and I've thrown away a lot of stuff.
That's always a good thing. You don't. I'm assuming there's stuff you didn't need.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we didn't need, a lot of stuff we had duplicates of, and I'm not real thrilled with the complex we're living in. So I wouldn't mind moving out of here in a year or two when she's better and able to maybe help pick out a new place. Because I mean, it's for a married guy, I take a lot of risks. She doesn't know I have a new car until she comes home and the in transit's and it's parked out front.
Yeah.
I've bought my last 4 cars without even talking to her about it, and then now she's been in the hospital, and I've literally picked out a new residence and moved us without her having any input. It's like, yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
sure
do this,
I'm
and
sure she
so
loves that.
well, I don't know. She knows
Bigger
that
things to worry
I
about.
won't do anything too stupid, and at the same time, if I do screw up or do something she doesn't like, it'll just give her a reason to needle me. So it's all good. Yeah, I'm not. These guys aren't even lighting up for the book pages for me, which is interesting. Normally-
So you bought the books. Did you? I know you're not gonna like me asking. Did you use them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's check my deed log. Maybe this got changed. Old man glasses activate. Form of being able to read.
Yeah, I've never seen your bookshelf so empty.
That's, yeah. The famous bookshelf of crap is all cleaned out. Everything's moved over. I'll spend the next 6 months going, I know I had that. Where was this?
So you in the same complex, or did you move completely?
No, same complex. We actually just moved like 100 feet to the north. But from a one
That's
bedroom to a 2 bedroom, and there's a
Well,
master bath has a shower that you don't have to step over a tub to get into. Gonna get
Well,
grab
congratulations.
bars installed, and yeah, when she comes home, she'll be able to get around a little easier. And
any ETA on that?
tomorrow,
Oh,
her coming home, you mean? No.
Yeah.
I was thinking it might be end of June, but maybe end of July is a little closer. I'd mentioned that it was our wedding anniversary on Wednesday, and I actually picked her up and took her out to dinner for the first time, and it was really nice. It's just being alone in the car, driving to dinner. I took her out for Korean food, which made her quite happy. But after we got done with dinner, she was quite full and maybe a bit tired, and it was a good reminder that we still have some work to do. I had a little trouble getting her back into the car, and then a little bit of trouble getting her out of the car and back into the skilled nursing facility once we got her there. But overall, it was a great night, and hopefully it'll keep her motivated to keep working so she gets stronger. But Ginger says, bedtime for me, have fun. Ginger, you have a great night. Did you talk to the NPC you need to after using them to activate the deeds? I'm checking. Maybe I did not. Class deeds.
Common
Expert's
mistake.
Guide to Dirty Fighting is active. Oh, talk to Bilbo Baggins. No, clearly I have not.
No. Yeah, if it doesn't show the empty pages, then no, you haven't activated them.
There we go. That's why I stream on Lotro Stream, so you guys can clue me in. When I'm all whacked out on Black Tar Heroin, you guys can straighten me out. Be like, Ed, you need a higher power and to go talk to Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo.
The first step is admitting that you have a problem with your class deed training, Nick.
Yeah. Me and my mom and her boyfriend just watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Pretty good?
In my opinion, and I'm not even a Dungeons and Dragons fan, if it was named anything else but Dungeons and Dragons, it would have been far better.
You think it's just got such a geek stigma attached to it, people want to not like it?
Well, it was one of those just like you didn't even need to be a fan to watch it, and it was like if so. I was just like, you could have just called it like Thieves. What you could have just took the like Revenge of the Thieves or whatever it called, and just called it that rather than having the Dungeons and Dragons tag on it. It was all right. I thought it was a decent one-time watch.
Okay.
I'm going to see the new Guardians of the Galaxy on Monday.
Yeah, I've heard some various things about that. Some of my friends have liked it. Other people said it was not that good, but I thought
Not at
Guardians
all
2
good.
was a hot mess. So I didn't have much
So-
interest in 3.
So it's hotter and messier.
Yeah, if you are a fan, there was some Easter eggs that my mom's boyfriend was pointing out and stuff. But as someone who, other than DDO, has never done anything with Dungeons and Dragons, I thought it was just a nice, medieval era type flick thing, like fantasy flick.
Take that, you dirty old dragon. Oh, I need to kill lurkers to collect relic fragments up here. I'll go do that. I got my bears killed. What's the other thing I'm supposed to be doing up here? Oh, collect bear hides. So even though I killed my bears, I need to kill more bears.
The bears.
Feel like I'm the Green Bay Packers. My whole mission is to keep killing the bears.
Lurkers are more prevalent down closer to the.
Yeah, I'm heading that way anyway. You must have completed the Scouts Among the Brunnen. Okay. I'll have to go get that done now that I'm collecting some elf relics. More platinum, please.
Does that
Really
apply
need
to
to
all
find-
sizes of rep items or only the big ones?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I picked up any of the little ones yet. What's the smaller one? The Goblin
The
tablets?
Rings of Rudar?
Oh, yeah, here's one. No, those I can use.
Yeah, so that's common for the 700 rep items to have a
They're
request
30?
gate.
Yeah, 30 for the rings and 100 for the Goblin tablets? Or am I mixing those up? Okay.
No,
Mr.
30
Christoph
for the
checking in.
rings. To
But if you
Bart's
are a
100.
fan, there's some name and cameo
Or 50.
drops that I enjoyed. Mr. Christoph commenting about the Dungeons and Dragons movie, or are you talking about Guardians
Yep.
of the Galaxy?
He's talking about
It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, Tolkien obviously had a huge influence on Dungeons and Dragons. And man, when I was a teenager and we didn't have... If you're 14 or 15 living in Omaha, Nebraska, you can't drive, you can't get a job. Dungeons and Dragons kept us from going stir crazy. I can't imagine how much trouble I would have been in as a kid if I didn't have Dungeons and Dragons to play with my buddies. Once we got old enough to make money and chase girls, that was all over, but I sure enjoyed it while I played it. I adored the old Gold Box series of D&D games. Mr. Christoph says, I had no buddies. Sniff. But at least you've got a new girlfriend now.
That's what I would think.
And his wife doesn't even mind. He has a new Amiga. Eventually we'll word that joke out, but I knew it would make Freelancer happy to hear it. You are welcome for the shout out. Pont says, I saw the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxies in theaters. They were fun to watch.
Yeah, they're good movies on their own.
Even Guardians 2?
I did not like Guardians 2 as much as 1, but I thought
Kurt
it was
Russell's
okay.
my dad and he's God, but I have to kill my dad. Like, what? Sorry,
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
It was kind of weird, but
It's like, first of all, I don't care what your dad did. If your dad is Snake Plissken, your dad's cool and you need to respect him.
yeah, you old men will get a kick out of this. So,
Let's see.
so 3 weeks, about a month ago, was the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi when it hit theaters. So I went and they re-released it. So I went and saw it in theaters for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, those would always be fun to see on the big screen.
Unfortunately, I was like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll show us the original 1984 release. They did not. They did the whole updated, like, CGI added stuff, which I was like, that's fine. Like, I've already seen that, but I would have liked to see the original.
I seem to have accidentally pulled one of my skills off my bar. See if we can get that corrected.
I'll lock them up.
Control L.
Well, but I like moving my fishing rod around.
That's way too much information.
I just feel like sharing tonight.
Thor
Surprise
Ragnarok was
strike.
probably one of the best Marvel movies ever.
What's that?
Thor Ragnarok. That was a good
Yeah, I
one.
haven't seen Love and Thunder.
I've heard good and bad. I'm just one of those people that I can go without seeing some of them and just have my friends fill me in. I'll always see the Spider-Mans in theaters though.
I'm afraid that seeing Natalie Portman dressed up as a Norse goddess could have feelings unleashed in me I can't control.
The dark side is strong within you.
It's true.
So anything new in Lotro in the last 2 months?
They're going to make the landscape difficulty selectable. That should be pretty cool. We started a new character group on Gladden. We're just starting to get going on Wednesdays.
And we were thinking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta see if I can get the game working.
Well, on Wednesdays we've been doing. Since I called it Wild Card Wednesdays, I've actually been making it Wild Card. When people pop into the chat, they can add a game to the wheel, and we let a random picker pick the game for the night, with the caveat that once a game is picked, it has to be out of rotation for 2 weeks before we add it to the wheel again. But we've done shooty boats on Wednesdays. We've done Among Us. We did low level, but Path of Exile could be on the table. Rocket League. We're just mixing it up, making Wednesdays a little less predictable. It's been fun so far.
Rocket League the other day for the first time in like 3 months. That was after Freelancer challenged me last time I popped in.
I think he did it again the other night, didn't he? Heard him whispering.
Yeah.
Nick, 1v1 me.
I hadn't played it. Yeah, I haven't played in so long. I was like surprised I could even I scored on myself in the first game, so I knew that I was still capable.
Disney won't ever release the unedited, unaltered Star Wars, nor did Lucas want to, so you only get fans posting it free online.
Me and Gore last May 4th watched. They called it the despecialized edition of A New Hope, so it
Mm-hmm.
looks closest to the original release from the 70s as possible.
What
It was
do
pretty
you
good.
want?
Except that, of course, the subtitle "A New Hope" was not there.
Yeah, it was just Star Wars, right?
Yep.
I believe I watched them on VHS first.
I still have all of the original collector's editions on VHS.
Venice. I'll have to take a
On
picture
shot first.
of my of my mom's boyfriend's he's got some money, so like he's got his nerd items, so he's got Gandalf's staff on the wall. He's got a whole cabinet full of Star Wars knickknacks. He's got like 4 stormtrooper helmets that were custom made. Bunch of weird stuff. So I was like, it's got Willy Wonka's golden ticket. I was like, dude, that's awesome. And then my mom's got a small river in her backyard, so I can fish right off the backyard.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have no Star Wars memorabilia items.
I would like some, but I don't really have room for that stuff in my room at home. So it was one of those just like I'll just collect the DVDs and the VHSs. Good night, Mr. Christoph.
Mr. Christoph is heading out. He's upset I didn't react to his Pee Wee Herman joke, so. Have a good night, Mr. Christoph. Take care, buddy. Don't forget, Monday I expect to see you out at the flying field. We'll eat some breakfast. Hopefully it won't be too windy.
Good wind shear never hurt anybody.
Well, my motto's always been if we crash, the Chinese will make more, so we can go ahead and fly and not worry. But some of the other guys are a little more protective of their planes. I've been out, we did pylon racing one time in like 35-mile-an-hour winds, but it was straight out of the south, right down the runway. So our laps, it was like,
Yeah.
yeah. One side of the lap was super fast, and the other side took a really long time. But we did wreck a few planes that day too. Thankfully, not mine. I think I was flying my beloved Goldberg Tiger II that day. I've had that plane since 2005. A buddy of mine built it from a kit in the 90s and flew it, and then just threw it in his garage and kind of forgot about it. When I got in the hobby, he's like, "Oh, I've got a plane you can have," and he gave me this old Goldberg Tiger II. And man, I've flown it and flown it and flown it, and it's just a great old plane. Bilbo's guest quarters? Yeah. Oh, that's Frodo. Bilbo's in the Hall of Fire.
Yep.
All right. Well, it is Bilbo's guest quarters. I went to the right room name-wise. He's just not in there. They made changes to Rivendell, so you don't have to load into some of the rooms. I don't know if you just saw that, Nick.
No, I haven't really seen anything.
Yeah, they
recently saw.
completely redid the last homely house. It's kind of cool. They added a bunch of frills and dressed it up and made it fancier.
Hello there. How do you do? Hello there. Good day. Might I have
Yeah,
a
it has
word
the
with you?
appearance of a lot more eye candy, but not any more functional, unfortunately. I mean, that's fine. There's enough going on there.
Yeah.
But
My
not
one
having
gripe
to
about
load
Ribbon-
into the library, not having to
Yeah.
load into the Hall of Fire is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's not broken into regions, zones.
Plus, when you're in the Hall of Fire, it's a good place to fillet some fish. Dornell and Potton like it.
Yeah,
Wow,
so it's a good
4
upgrade.
catfish, yeah.
Rivendell as a whole, I always felt like for as beautiful as it all is, there should be a little bit more going on.
I agree.
Well, one of the changes they made was when you didn't have to find a superior forge, for instance. I would like to see them go back and revisit that crafting area that you had to rep your way into, and maybe do something more with that or new with that. Like you said, Rivendell needs some pizzazz, and I thought that was kind of they had the start of something there, and then when they made crafting easier, it kind of took away from some of the area. Elrond trying to raise his property value so he can sell it. Retire in Mordor, the Florida of Middle Earth.
Yes.
Rugs have reflection, which feels odd. The reflection effect needs to be lowered just a tad under the rug. I didn't notice that. I'll go back and take a look.
What can I do for you?
I just wanted to store my fish fillets.
Apparently, that Gollum game didn't do too well on launch.
Well, that's too bad. I didn't even realize it had launched. Oh, yeah, I thought I had the
Hello
pipeweed to
there.
turn in. Also not the exit. I'll admit I was a little turned around there. Oh, in the Hall of Fire was the reflections. I said I was going to go back and take a look at that. Let's peek at reflections on the rugs. Oh, under the table. Yeah, I see it. It's a very shiny rug. The rest of it looks pretty good. I think it's just under the table. It is odd, though. You are not wrong, Ponton.
All right, boys, I'm gonna head out.
Nick, have a lovely evening. Hopefully we'll get a chance to hang out more soon.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Hey, Nick.
Nice. Antler made me a well-crafted Lebathron fishing rod. Oh, and he sent me cash money, too. 100 silver for no particular reason. I will take it. Thank you, Antler.
Thought you couldn't mail cash to free-to-play players.
I don't know. He did it.
Huh.
So,
What
well,
am I thinking of? Oh, I know. You can't mail the gold stacks that you buy at the vault.
no, okay. Why would that matter? I thought those were just cosmetic.
No. Because they would let you buy a full 100 stack of the gold. That's 1,000 gold. You send that to
Okay.
somebody, you could let them bypass the gold cap.
Ah. Okay, this was the area I was talking about before. Imlad Galer?
Yeah, weird place.
Well, back in the day, you had to get rep access to this place, so if you were in Rivendell, you could access a superior forge. That was really the main feature of this place. They had the superior forge in Rivendell locked away. It never really was that big of a deal, even back when that was a thing. And then when they took superior crafting stations away and they made them all superior, it was like this place was completely useless. And it's pretty. It's a nice little area, but they just need
Yeah,
to do
it's
something.
too nice
with
an
it.
area to have no function.
Yeah. I don't even think the vendors have anything particularly special here. That's a regular supplier.
There's a reputation barter, but I don't know that it's anything. Maybe some unusual recipes.
These look new. Westland. I don't remember seeing these Westland recipes. Westland Boots of Vibrance. It's not ringing a bell for me. Maybe they've always been here and I just never noticed them.
How may I be of service to you?
I think those have always been there, but I think that generally people, by the time they really are interested in being in this place, are past the level that those are really that useful.
Okay.
Megavallen.
Potton says, speaking of Star Wars and Guardians earlier, is there any film that you all seen more than once in theaters? Yeah, I went to go see Black Panther with friends on opening weekend, and then I took my niece and nephew to go see it. That's the last time that I can recall. Looks like it's all just metalsmith recipes. Interesting. I have to get Warsteinik out here and see if those are unusual recipes. And
It's a
then this
very
vendor
What can I do
here.
for you?
long time since I've gone to see a movie a second time in the theater.
Yeah, honestly, it's not something I do a whole lot of, but Last time I recall was Dark Knight Rises in 2012. Oh, don't get me started on that movie.
Back in the day, the crew that I ran with would make it a habit once a month of going to the midnight Friday night showing of The Song Remains the Same.
Oh yeah, cool.
That theater played 2 movies at midnight every Friday night. One screen was Song Remains the Same, the other was Rocky Horror.
Yeah, Rocky Horror was fun. I had a buddy who his favorite midnight movie, he liked to go out drinking and then go see Pink Floyd's The Wall midnight movies with Bob Geldof, and it was just the funniest thing. He took me to it one night. I was like, "Yeah, let's go see The Wall." Okay, and then I would talk to some of our other friends. It's like, "Yeah, Anderson took me to go see The Wall." I don't know how many times he went to go see it at the theater, but it was quite a bit. I only went the one time.
I don't
That
think I
was
ever
much
saw
fun.
it in the movie theater.
Really?
No.
Didn't make the midnight movies in your local theater?
I probably did. But I mean, I saw the real thing at the Hollywood Bowl.
Well, there you go.
I think that probably going to see it in the theater would have paled by comparison.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the same, but it's yeah, Song Remains the Same. That's pretty legit. I
Well, there's more to it than just you know,
Yeah.
a concert structure. And I get that there is in The Wall also.
Yeah.
But the show had a lot of stuff on screen as well.
Oh, Potton says that
Live.
Westland's Armor is bought at any metalsmith vendor. Interesting. For some reason, it doesn't ring a bell for me. That's okay. I don't think I have any tailoring stuff. Metalsmith scroll. We'll go get Warsteinic and see if I ever bought that. I did not mean to close the game. That was a mistake. That is Ed getting a little punchy.
Logged out does not equal exit game.
Did I click logged out or did I click exit
I
game?
don't know. I wasn't watching.
Clearly, I
am the
wasn't
one
paying
who
enough
picked up.
attention either. Yeah. Oh, and that was even weirder. To log in, I was looking. Man, I'm tripping myself out. I'm like, was I just looking at my stream replay when I logged in? But I realized that my login pop-up was on the screen with the replay. It was over the top of it. I'm like, was I just logging in on the replay? I'm definitely getting tired again. Again, I'm going to get well rested. Hopefully, coherent Ed will be back soon. Appreciate everybody's patience while I've been going through this move and taking care of Mrs. M and putting in extra hours at work. I had a killer paycheck today. 25 hours of overtime our last pay period. It's like, dang, I wish I could make that every 2 weeks without having to work the OT. That'd be nice. Yeah, let's log in Warsteinic. That's what I was trying to do anyway. That's okay. I didn't kill the stream. Just accidentally logged out of the game. That's alright. Seeing if I fall asleep on camera or do something incredibly stupid is part of the fun of watching me stream. I usually don't disappoint. Exactly, Ed. It adds to the fun. See, part of my role in the community at Doranel is when people watch how bad I am at streaming, it fills them with the confidence to try it themselves. So I set an extremely low bar for everybody else. It's what I do best. And oh, there it is, Westland armor. I have all the recipes. That's all level 35 stuff? I don't know, it just, maybe I just don't craft level 35 armor. I just don't know why that wasn't sticking out. So, yeah, like I said, that particular area doesn't seem to be of any use at all anymore. Love to see that get revamped. Do something special there. And doesn't look like, oh yeah, he's got 2 carryalls. Small crafting and small crafting. Don't know why I've got dupes of that.
A thought that I always had about Imled Galer was, you know, they've got Arwen standing on that little rock overlooking the Rivendell area. I thought they should have put her in there somewhere.
Well, that would have been interesting, yeah.
Made that like a retreat that be featured in.
Herky Mad checking in. Hello, Herky.
Northern Europe in the house.
I always like the idea for special recipes. You have to craft the special thing at this place like Rivendell, but not a feature in game. You're always welcome, Herky. Oh, we got a concert going on. Let's see what we got. The alt rock band Kin is performing outside the Pony.
Hang on. Gotta look. No, he's on a different server.
Do you recognize the tune?
I'm not hearing it.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. No. I'm not picking up on it.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Adornell says it's a Creed song.
Okay.
That would be why I don't know it.
Higher by Creed. Thank you, Adorno. Yeah, this is called Bread and Jam. We play music every single Friday night for years since 2012. On Crick Hollow in particular? Or do they pick random servers, or... Yeah.
Oh, no, that's
I was a teen when this
that.
song came out.
Well, I was a teen when In Through the Outdoor came out. I was a preteen when It's Only Rock and Roll came out. That makes Ed feel better.
Yeah, I definitely was a preteen then also.
You're like 1, 2, 3.
Sure, we'll go with that. I like giving Bacchus a hard time about being an old man.
Get off my lawn.
Oh, you're the Methuselah of the Lotro community. Even people who are older than you aren't as old as you.
I'd take 969 years.
Hopefully the stream doesn't get muted later for that, but again, the Lotro music system gets recorded a lot and almost never muted, but it has before. A teen when Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 was released.
What can I do for you this
That's a
fine
good
day?
symphony.
No. A teen when a fifth of Beethoven was released. As long as you want to play that game.
Ooh, a scroll I didn't have yet. Nice.
A terrific rock rendition of the classic by Walter Murphy. Too bad you can't have tunes on stream. I'd put that up.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
That was actually almost a disco song.
That's okay. Emotional Rescue was almost a disco song. Alright everybody, since I am turning into a pumpkin, we have solved many mysteries tonight, but I am going to turn in. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Let's see who we can go raid. Thank goodness El Galadwin is up and running. Our friend Larry is streaming. Well, if I'm on Lotro stream, the preference is towards other Lotro streamers, so El Galadwin wins by default. But Professor Teacher G is up streaming. She's got a lot of viewers. Larry N is streaming. He's up and running. Always fun to hang out with. Celestia is streaming Elder Scrolls Online. You got lots of good choices. Don't feel like the fun has to end just because Big Ed is wearing out again. not shout out. Let's raid.
I know you're still lurking, Nick. Come on, 1v1 me.
I don't think you're gonna like how that works out. I'm sure he's went to bed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, Freelancer, Antler, thanks for hanging out. Everybody in chat, thanks for hanging out. Have a great weekend, everybody. And hopefully, the good Lord willing, I'll have the furniture moved tomorrow and have the computer back up and running. And we'll probably be playing some Lotro or something else on my channel. So come by and say hello. And by golly, get out and enjoy some fresh air and sunshine. It's Memorial Day weekend. And if you just happen to be in Omaha, Nebraska, come by Standing Bear Lake Monday morning and we'll grill you some breakfast at the Omahawks Airfield. Take care, everybody. Good night.
No REM tomorrow night?